All right, let's be honest. Project management can feel a bit like you're in a spy movie, can it? One wrong move and the whole thing just goes completely pear-shaped. Well, you can't go into the field without the right gadgets, can you? So today, we're gonna kit you out. We're diving into the essential field guide for PMP risk identification. Forget all that diffusing bombs nonsense. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is way more dangerous. You are going to pull off the perfect dunk. A single biscuit into the boss's afternoon cuppa. The catch? It absolutely positively cannot break. The stakes have never been higher.
So here's the deal. Success means glory, a pat on the back, maybe even a promotion. Failure? Well, failure means a soggy, crumbly mess at the bottom of the gaffer's mug and eternal, soul-crushing shame. And these PMP risk tools we're talking about, think of them as your gadgets from QBranch. They're what's going to get you through this. Let's see how they work.
Right, first things first. Every good mission starts with two things: assembling the right team and getting solid intel on the ground. For Operation Biscuit Dunk, that means we need to know everything about that tea break before we even think about cracking open the biscuit tin.
Okay, first gadget out of the bag, expert judgment. Look, you're not going into this blind. This means having a quiet word with Sheila from the tea trolley. She knows the boss's schedule to the millisecond. And you're definitely having a chat with Barry from accounts. Everyone knows he's a biscuit boffin who can tell you the exact structural integrity of a rich tea versus a digestive. It's their very specific, specialized knowledge that's absolutely crucial, which is why this tool is perfect for any new technical or just plain dodgy situations.
But wait, here's your classic PMP exam trap. You have to be so careful not to rely on just one so-called expert, especially if it's that new chap with the loud tie who thinks he knows it all. See, the PMP way is all about getting balanced, considered input, not just listening to the loudest voice in the room. Remember that. Next up, you're hitting the archives. You're blowing the dust off previous mission reports. You know, old project charters, plans, and especially that frankly harrowing after-action report on the Great Jaffa Cake disaster of 22. We don't talk about that. You're hunting for gaps, conflicts, anything marked to be confirmed, because that, right there, is where the landmines are buried in your plan.
Okay, so the crew is assembled, the files are reviewed, now it's time for the big briefing. We have got to get all of that priceless risk intelligence out of everyone's heads and onto a whiteboard. This is the extraction phase.
And for this, you've got two main techniques. First, there's brainstorming. Just think of it like a big old shout-about down the pub. Everyone's chucking ideas in, it's fast, it's messy, it's energetic. But, without a good landlord or facilitator to keep order, it can turn into a right old moan fest. On the flip side, you've got the Delphi technique. This is much more civilized. It's like a secret ballot. It's anonymous, it happens in rounds, and it's absolutely perfect for stopping that one loudmouth from steamrolling the whole conversation.
So how does this whole secret ballot thing actually work? Well, it's pretty simple. You send out a secret questionnaire to your experts. You get the replies back, tally them up anonymously, and write a little summary. Then you send that summary back out to everyone for another round of feedback. You just keep doing that until everyone stops arguing and you finally land on a proper consensus. It's slower, yeah, but a whole lot cleaner.
Sometimes you need a more subtle touch, a quiet word. That's interviewing. This is when you pull that seasoned veteran aside for a one-on-one, the one who's seen a dozen biscuit missions go pear-shaped and live to tell the tale. It's brilliant for sensitive topics, or when you just know someone has the key bit of info but is a bit too shy to speak up in a group.
And that brings us to a really crucial point. Don't just spot the symptom. You've got to find the cause. That's what root cause analysis is all about. We're not just saying, oh, the biscuit might break. No, we're asking why it might break. Is the tea too hot? Is the biscuit from a dodgy, crumbly batch? You keep asking why, like a toddler, maybe 5 times, until you dig down to the real, actual problem. This is how you get a really strong risk statement for your register.
Right. We have a list of potential disasters as long as your arm. But before we commit to the mission, we have to run one final systems check. This is all about making sure we haven't missed something blindingly obvious that could lead to, well, a soggy bottom.
And first up is the good old humble checklist. This is your pre-donk flight check. It's built from all the historical data and lessons learned from past disasters. Operations. You just run down the list of common problems. Have we checked the kettle's temperature? Have we confirmed biscuit availability? It's a fantastic, simple tool for those repeatable projects, just to make sure you don't forget the basics.
But, and listen up, this is a massive PMP exam favorite, a checklist is only a starting point. It is not the whole story. Every mission, every project is unique. Your trusty list isn't going to mention the possibility of a rogue pigeon swooping through the window and dive bombing the cuppa. You have to combine it with other tools, always.
Now for my personal favorite tool, assumptions analysis. This is where you go after every single, it'll be all right on the night. For example, we assumed the boss uses a standard issue office mug. But what if he brings in one of those gigantic Sports Direct ones? You know the ones I mean. Suddenly your dunking time, your tea to biscuit ratio, your structural integrity models, they're all completely shot to bits. This tool is how you turn those shaky assumptions into actual, concrete risks you can plan for.
Okay, intel's gathered, systems are checked. Now it's time to get visual. We need to drop the battle plan, map out the entire operation, so we can spot any hidden dangers we might have missed just by looking at lists of text. And the fishbone diagram is just perfect for this. So you put the main problem, in our case, biscuit structural failure, at the head of the fish, right? Then you start brainstorming all the potential causes, but you group them into handy categories. Was it the people? Shaky hands from too much coffee. Was it the method? Maybe too aggressive a dunking angle? This just helps you systematically categorize everything and get to those root causes.
And then we've got process flowcharts. With this, you literally map out every single step of the mission, from the second the biscuit tin is opened, to the dunk, to the final, triumphant extraction from the tea. This is absolutely brilliant for spotting bottlenecks, like a queue at the kettle or dodgy handoffs between team members. A flowchart just makes the weak points in the chain jump right out at you.
Okay, Agent, mission prep is nearly complete, so listen up. It is time for the final debrief. Let's make sure that gadget belt is packed, ready, and that you are prepped for the exam. This is the rapid-fire summary of everything you need to lock in.
Now, please remember this for your exam. The answer is almost never just one tool. The PMP absolutely loves a multi-tool approach. So you might start with a documentation review. Use a bit of brainstorming to get a big list of ideas, and then bring in expert judgment and assumptions analysis to really refine and challenge that list. The real skill is using the right gadget for the right part of the job. And here it is, the moment you've been waiting for, your exam cheat sheet. Seriously, screenshot this, write it down, get it tattooed if you have to. It links the tool to our crazy mission analogy, but most importantly, it gives you the trigger words to look for in an exam question. If a question mentions biased stakeholders, your brain should scream Delphi. If it says the plan relies on something, you think assumptions analysis. This right here is absolute gold dust.
And after all this sneaking around, all this cloak and dagger work, what is the #1 output? The single document that is the entire point of this whole phase. It's your initial risk register, a proper documented list of all the threats and yes, opportunities that you've managed to uncover. That is your primary objective. So there you have it. You are now fully equipped with the best risk identification gadgets in the business. You've reviewed the intel, you've interrogated the experts, and you've drawn up the battle plan. The only question left is, which biscuit are you choosing for this mission? A sturdy, reliable digestive, or maybe a high-risk, high-reward rich tea? The choice, Agent, is yours. Good luck.